Okay. Um, so we have a first timer on the podcast this week. Kasia from South S1de Hype. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing all right. Still not happy with that it's getting a little bit cooler. It's in the 50s around here, and I could handle that. When we get
Yeah.
to the 20s and 30s, it's I'm not real happy, at least. It just
Yeah,
ta- it
I
just it just takes a getting used to period. Like once it's
oh
like
yeah.
January or something, and if it's like 33 degrees in a day, I'll be like, whoa, heat wave, holy cow, put on the shorts. But now if it got down to 33 degrees,
Ice cube.
we'd all be, yeah, we'd be ice cubes.
Yeah, I
So
like cold weather.
Steelers Steelers 32-13 over the Raiders. Before the game, what were you thinking about, like how the Steelers were going to do in this game?
Honestly, from social media of seeing everyone go to Steeler Nation, I thought it was going to be I thought it was going to end up the way that it did because of all of the hype, all of the excitement for it. Not gonna lie, it was my man's birthday weekend. So in regards to the
Who
excitement for it, the Steelers all day. In regards to them coming off of losing for the past 2 weeks, not so much.
it's amazing how many Steeler fans were in that game. Um, but it just sounds like the most perfect thing. It's like Vegas is a destination thing anyway. So it's like, hey, you like the Steelers? You want to go to Vegas? Let's make a vacation out of it and go to the
Right?
game. And I mean, I wonder if that happens like a lot with Vegas, that they get um that they get, the other team taken over. I don't know, but uh it was just I think even the team and Mike Tomlin was like a little overwhelmed with how many how many Steelers fans were there. It
It
was
was
it was
crazy.
crazy. Um they almost every single team, when the Steelers come, they have their own version of the terrible towel, because they
Yeah.
try to drown out the terrible towel, and it never works. Apparently they were handing out silver towels or something like that uh before the game, and it's like it doesn't work. It's just it's nothing beats the yellow towel. It's like the,
Oh
the, the
no.
most perfect thing.
It is. It's yeah, I have tons of them. I mean, they're everywhere. It's an iconic thing.
Yeah,
It's a Pittsburgh iconic staple. It's like that, the bridges, black
yeah,
and gold.
yeah. um I went to an away game last year when they played in Houston, and it was it was a similar thing, that, like, it was probably like 50-50 Steelers fans. But the problem was the Steelers sucked that day. And they didn't do one good thing. There was like one good play all game. And we were just so excited to, like, go crazy and twirl the towels, and they didn't give us any reason to to be happy. And it was just so deflating. I hated that. But they gave the Steelers a lot of reasons to cheer yesterday. But
Oh yeah.
this seemed like one of those games where it's like the Raiders didn't seem very good. They had a bunch of people hurt. It's like, oh, here we go. This is going to be one of those games where we lose because we're supposed to win. Oh, goody. One of those kind of games. And when it started, the Steelers got the ball. They get they go down and get a field goal. Okay, good start.
Mhm.
Then the Raiders get the ball, and they just easily score a touchdown, and I lost it. I was so upset. I was so I I'm not the most rational person during a Steeler game.
No,
Um,
yeah.
do you watch the games at home, or do you go somewhere, or what do you do?
Primarily at home.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, we have a rather large setup and it's a very open room, and so we usually house and it's a Steeler party every Sunday.
Awesome. Awesome. I usually go somewhere and yeah, I was just really cranky. My my poor wife has to deal with it. She's like, said,
Oh,
"You're in a really bad mood." I'm like, you but the Steelers recovered, and really after that opening touchdown by Vegas, that was basically it. As far as
yeah.
what Vegas did, it was basically the Steelers defense playing really well, and Najee Harris basically just taking over the damn game. It was
Yeah,
it was
106
crazy.
yards, right?
106 yards, 14 carries, 106 yards and a touchdown. Um, the dude just wants to fight everybody, and that's really cool. But yeah, it's just pretty. It was just really cool to see him just take over games because usually he doesn't do so well in games. But what do you think about Najee?
Oh, I love him. I mean, as an athlete, like he's just I agree with that where sometimes he's I don't want to say hot or cold, but sometimes he's on, sometimes he's not. Like he hasn't been consistent like he was yesterday. He was just on the entire game.
Yeah, I don't know. I go back and forth with him because yeah, some like games like today he was awesome, but like a lot of times it just looks like it doesn't work for whatever reason. And like when you see like Jalen Warren have a good game or Cordarrelle Patterson have big runs and Najee doesn't, it's like, what are we doing here, dude? What's why? But what I love is that he just beats the crap out of everybody. The guy puts 110% into into every carry and he just wants to drag everybody and fight everybody, and it's like the most amazing thing.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, we have a bit of an issue with offense
Oh yeah.
anyway. So, I mean, like he does, like you said, he is a warrior when he gets it, and he's just tackling through to make sure he's getting yards. And with him being hot or cold, it maybe that is part of with the lack of other dominant offensive players. Like we really don't have any other. I mean, I know Najee is a running back, but like for wide receivers, I mean, we only have Pickens. That's it.
I think that has a lot to do with it because like, yeah, you only have one good wide receiver. Your offensive line, they're like most of them are hurt or who knows what the heck's
Like
going
half.
on with them. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, so you don't have a great passing game. And it kind of seems like when they when Najee's in there, it's like they're announcing to everybody, "Hey everybody, we're gonna run." And the other team knows this and they're like, "Okay, fine, let's go after him." And like they just don't even pretend to respect anything else. Like maybe they'll play action pass or anything like that. So I think that hurts them too. Um, but yeah, so it was really nice for him to have a good day. Now, the touchdown he had was a 36-yard run, and so they toss it to him, and he's running through people and stuff, and he takes off, and then he dove from like the 5-yard line
Into the bottom.
into the end zone, and it's like 5 yards is 15 feet. That's like two people. That's like two and a half people. I can't even measure 15 feet. It's like the dude just dove that. He just jumped that.
He's that great of an athlete.
I've never like I kind of want to see him in person because I wonder if his legs are like the size of tree trunks or something like that. I'll bet he's like this superhuman looking person.
Oh yeah, ideal specimen.
Yeah. 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 It's just, it's funny. Who was it when like some running back says, well, he has a calf problem or something like that. It's like their calf is probably the size of like a small tree or something like that. It's just they're just
Probably.
amazing athletes. But it's like, yeah, he flew. He flew. He just
Superman dove.
he's Superman. Yeah. um, but the crazy thing about that is they have this stupid rule where if you fumble the ball right before it goes into the end zone and like it goes out of bounds into the end zone or some crap like this, then the other team gets the ball or something like that. Have you ever seen this thing? It's like it's the dumbest thing ever. And it's so weird. And that almost happened with Najee, but I mean, it crossed the plane and stuff. But it's like, I'm like, oh no, no, not this really stupid rule.
Right there. Yeah, I'm not exactly what the specifics are with that rule, but I mean, like, yeah, that's I
It's
know what
just,
you're talking about though.
yeah, it's just so dumb. The other star of the game was so it was when was TJ Watt's birthday?
But, oh goodness, I'm trying to see if which day was. It was like Thursday or Friday. Now you got me double checking it. I know it
I'm
was Thursday
checking.
or Friday.
October 11th. So yeah, yeah, it was this week. He
It was
just
Friday.
turned 30.
There we go.
He 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 just turned 30. Um and TJ Watt is just amazing. I've basically heard people saying he's not just the best defensive player, he might be the best player overall in the NFL right now.
Oh yeah,
Uh
defensive player of the year for sure.
oh yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Um he he can't get sacks because half the team holds him back and they never call a penalty on it, which is so frustrating. So he basically says, okay, well, if anybody gets near me with the ball, I'm just going to punch the thing and it causes a fumble. So there
yeah,
you go.
I mean that's hey, okay, he went around it. Like, okay, blocking me here, I'll find a way around it, and there he did. And like that's where he's phenomenal. I can't say enough good things about him all around.
It's just crazy because you look at almost every single team. It's like, who's your best who's your best player? Oh, probably the quarterback. You know, the quarterback's like, who's your most valuable player that you can't you know if this player got hurt, then the team would be screwed. Almost every other team is a quarterback, not the
Quarterback.
Steelers. It's
Nope.
TJ Watt, and
TJ Watt.
we see when TJ Watt got hurt, it's like, there we go. Here comes a losing streak. We're gonna lose this game. We know that.
Yeah.
Um, but when they showed the slow motion things of TJ Watt punching the ball, it looked like the scariest thing ever. It looked like it looked like when Superman was fighting somebody and he's just flying.
Yeah. I
I,
know exactly what you're talking about.
I can't imagine what the other team is thinking. It's like this dude is punching like it's just
Even with all that padding on, just someone just coming at you like that is,
I
yeah.
don't know. Yeah, what if he misses and he hits your arm or something like that? You're probably gonna break your arm. Oh my goodness. Yeah, TJ Watt just basically took over the game and the Steelers defense in overall just played really well. But the offense, oh boy. Uh
Yeah.
yes, they scored 32 points, which is nice. And yes, there were several touchdowns. That's great. But boy, we got some problems.
Yeah.
Uh it's basically Justin Fields, he does good things and then but he can't throw the ball. That's the problem. The passing game is really bad. It doesn't help that you have, basically Pickens and nothing, which is it's just silly. At least Calvin Austin occasionally catches the ball, but Van Jefferson he just he just shows up. He's just there to be present. He does he I've This is the most nothing player I've ever seen in my life. Like it's just crazy every week. He just doesn't show up.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And I mean, I think Justin
But
Fields is doing well with what he has. Because, it's not like he has these star offensive players with him. Like he's worked with what he's got. Just like you said, they're just showing some of them are just showing up just to show up. It's like it's I give
Yeah.
him credit because he is winning. He is working. He is doing what he needs to be doing at this point in time. I mean, can he definitely be better? Absolutely. But I mean, with he's still learning. He's still fresh in the NFL. I mean, with I mean
Yeah.
definitely the Steelers, but he's still learning with all of that. And I mean, I give him credit because he makes plays when he needs to. He had what, 2 touchdowns yesterday? Just
Yeah.
himself. So I mean, I give Justin Fields a lot credit for he's trying.
Yeah. 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 And like I think like when he was with Chicago, he would try because I mean those Chicago teams sucked and he would just try to win the game himself and that caused a lot of problems, you know. So here I think he's holding himself back in terms of like how much he wants to run and stuff, but still he is so good running and yeah, he sees it's not going to work. It's like, okay, fine, I'll just run for a touchdown or whatever the game. Fine.
Yeah.
Um yeah, and now the question is, and this is the question we've had for months now. It's like, okay, is it time to put in Russell Wilson? Kind of seems like it. Do you think they're gonna stick with Justin Fields another week, or you think it's time to start Russell Wilson next game?
I hope they stick with Justin Fields.
Really?
Um, I do. I mean, Tomlin he hasn't decided one. He hasn't said this person's our quarterback. Like he's still wishy-washy with it. And I I understand Russell Wilson has experience, but Justin Fields is making plays and he is making mistakes, but everyone's making mistakes. So to me, I do hope Justin Fields give him that. Like he's had a taste of it. Let him continue to go with it. They had 2 bad weeks. I totally get that. Heck, the one game was just scored by field goals. So like
Yeah.
I get everyone is working with it and we don't have the best offense. Like we have 50% of our offensive line. And I know a lot of people are starting to say about things about Arthur Smith and all that stuff. But to me, I hope they stick with Justin Fields. I don't know. I mean, everyone just throws in ringers all the time, but I hope they do.
There's this little detail of, oh, by the way, they're winning with him.
Yeah,
You know, they're four and
exactly.
two. They almost beat the Colts and they almost beat the Cowboys. If it wasn't for that last drive by Dak Prescott and that last really nice throw, they would have won that game. And they almost won the Colts game. So it's like if the goal is to win games and this guy's
Why would you
helping
change
us
it?
win games, why aren't we just sticking with the
Yeah,
guy
why
that
would you just throw them in? Like that to me, that's why I said everyone throws ringers, but I hope they stay with him, but I don't know.
it's just, you know, people think, well, Justin Fields isn't very good at passing, and Russell Wilson is going to be much better at passing. Like, do we know this? Are we sure? It's not that. It's not that Fields has like all day back there to throw to whoever he wants. He's
Yeah,
usually running for a reason because somebody's chasing him because the offensive line isn't that good. So
agreed.
you have and Justin Fields is such a good runner that he usually runs away from that stuff. Well, Russell Wilson is not that good of a runner. So I
Which
don't
would you
know.
rather? Yeah, exactly. Like in that situation, would you rather have someone who has more experience or someone who's going to adapt and actually make a play and it possibly like get the down and move forward?
Yeah.
I mean, Pittsburgh's been spoiled. We've been spoiled for what, 20 years with Ben Roethlisberger?
Yeah.
We had a franchise quarterback. Right now, we are trying to find another one. So everyone's so opinionated with it because they want another franchise quarterback, but no one's just falling on our laps. Like you got to give him a chance.
Yeah.
He has the
Yeah.
potential to be one.
And I mean, and we got to think about the future. Like what do we do next year? What are we going to have both of these guys? None of these guys? I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, this is why Mike Tomlin makes the big bucks, but what do you do? What like let's say he decides I think he's gonna go with Russell Wilson. I think that's gonna the way it ends up. How do you tell that to Justin Fields? It's like, hey, great job. I know you're winning. You're sitting down. You're going to the bench. You're like, I mean, if I'm Justin Fields, I'm like, really? Okay, screw you. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know how you could be happy with that. Like, I don't
because
know how who you
heaven
think.
forbid if that would be what happens and something would help happen to Russell Wilson, Justin Fields got a little nick in his
Oh,
shoulder.
now
You
you
know what I
want
mean?
me. Oh, okay.
Yeah, like, oh, now I'm good enough. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I guess that's human nature, but yeah, that's what I'm hoping for Justin Fields, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we all, well, the worst part is you put Russell Wilson in there, and obviously he gets hurt, then Justin Fields has to come in. But what if Russell Wilson just sucks?
Yeah.
What if they lose with him? Then what do you do? Then it's like, oh, do we have to keep playing this guy? We got this guy that kept winning, but he's on the bench, and we told him you're second, but we got this guy that sucks, and I was like, it could get real murky. He could get real ugly in the next
Oh
few
yeah,
weeks.
it could be catastrophic. Like there, bye, see you later. There's the rest of the weeks.
Yeah, yeah. Never a dull moment with the Steelers. It's never we
No,
they haven't had a boring team in a long time. It's
it's
like it's
always something.
always something. So next week it's the New York Jets on Sunday night. It's been a while since the Steelers have had a 1 o'clock Sunday game. I kind of like those 1 o'clock Sunday games.
Oh, they're my favorite.
Yeah, yeah, it's perfect. But yeah, we have a Sunday night game home to the Jets, who actually play tonight, so they're gonna go on a
Mhm.
short week. Um, I don't know what to expect. I kind of hate them because I think they like the way they fired the coach. I thought that was a pretty l- low class
Brash.
move.
Yeah,
Uh, and I hate Aaron Rodgers. I uh so I'm really hoping, but who knows? Now that they fired a coach, maybe they'll be good. I don't know, but
find out tonight. See how they look tonight.
yeah, we'll find out tonight because they're playing the Bills and the Bills are really good. So
Yeah.
we'll see. Um, yeah, and that's that. I don't know. I don't know. You never know what to expect with the Steelers. Sometimes they look good, sometimes they look bad. I thought they were like almost guaranteed to win the against the Cowboys because it's like, oh, Sunday nights in Pittsburgh. Like that's it's like almost a guaranteed Steelers win, but that I don't think we get those anymore. So who knows?
Yeah, there's no guarantees. What you think is, yeah, never how it always usually ends up.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So let's talk South Side Hype.
Oh,
So
okay.
this is what all do you sell?
Sneakers primarily. We do dabble in hype apparel as well. Like the Supreme Jordan release that just happened. Have items from that, but typically it's sneakers.
And these are like the really good sneakers that come out. Like this is not my world. When I go to I get sneakers at like Costco or for $30 or something like that. Those are my kind of
That's
shoes.
okay.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, they are the newest releases. The hype sneakers, the trending sneakers have everything from J tips to Jordans, Nike Dunks, Nike SB Dunks, Bad Bunnies, like the Adidas Samba Bad Bunnies, or the Gazelle Bad Bunnies. So I mean, there's definitely, I mean, we have Crocs for Halloween. We literally have every genre of trending sneakers that are, that have been released and
how about
back in
running
our online store.
shoes?
Yeah,
Do you have running? Okay, because I need a good pair of running shoes.
yeah,
Do you have size 13s?
I do. I have
Okay.
the largest size I have is 15.
Okay, well, I'm only a 13, so we're good there. But
Yeah.
this is a big deal. People collect the heck out of these shoes, right?
Oh yeah, like that's actually how I got started into it was I'm a sneaker called Sneakerheads. And so a sneaker collector and I fell in love like I liked the shoes and the colors, but primarily fell in love with the stories behind them, like the collaborations, some of them there is a model, it's called the Dornbacher. I love the story behind that. There's just so many different I like the flashbacks from like the Deion Sanders that, having like a 90s vibe that have been released recently. Like I like all the different stories that all the sneakers tell. So I like wearing them. I'm a sports mom. I grew up with sports. I'm very sports oriented. So that's kind of how the sneakers fit in, where they started matching all of my sports gear. And then I'm like, okay, well, now that I'm a collector and it had this world of like inclusivity and just creating all these different outfits with all these different sneakers, that's how I created South S1de Hype, because I just wanted everyone to find their own fits, to build their own unique description of themselves.
So the people that collecting, what do you call them, sneakerheads?
Yep, we're sneakerheads.
Um, do they ever wear the shoes, or is it just like the display, or what?
Some, I mean, there are some that like it is very, very unlikely if you wear them. And if you do, you probably carry them in a bag to said location. You change into them, you waddle so you don't crease them.
You're not,
And then,
you're not,
oh, I have done it.
you're not stepping into a mud puddle or something
Oh
like
no.
that.
But there's things that you can put on the bottom, like they're called drip
Okay,
grips, so that you don't worry about
okay.
that. There's spray to put on it. So like, when winter comes, you can still wear your shoes, but the salt's not gonna bother it. And I'm not gonna lie, it looks like I'll totally take 10 extra steps to walk on concrete or gravel so that I'm not going through mud and grass.
Now, do you have like older sneakers, or I mean, I know Air Jordans have been around literally for 40 years. I mean, do you have like shoes from the 80s and 90s?
Yeah, 90s primarily. I mean, the 80s not so much. Didn't really wear them then. But 90s, 2000s, yeah, anywhere from I wouldn't say which probably the earliest. 96, 97. It's probably my oldest. That's one that's not worn because if I put it on, it's gonna fall apart.
Now, do you have them like in a case or something,
Yes.
or okay,
Yeah,
very cool.
have display cases for certain ones that they just stay there. And well, mostly all of them are in display cases. Some of them are in their boxes still. That's where I say, you're a sneakerhead if you have a closet in your house full of empty shoe boxes.
Yeah, yeah. What do you like? Like I love empty shoe boxes because I put bills in them, but I guess you can't. Okay, but then why do you keep the boxes then if you're displaying the shoes?
So that's where some people like to like after there's a few pairs that I've had that I'm like, okay, I've worn them a lot. Someone else may like them now. They're in good condition. A lot of people do buy like very gently used sneakers. And that's why I always keep the boxes for just in case. Not gonna lie, I have a hard time letting go of mine. So I just like to get them. But it is definitely a lot of people will, hey, I had this one, let's swap, or this is gently used pair. And since we all kind of waddle and take care of them, it's a lot easier. So then everyone can at least try all these different ones that have been out.
So where do you talk to other sneakerheads? Is this where I'm assuming on the internet, but where are these? Well, are there communities and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of Facebook groups. There's a ton of those that you can join, and they're all very positive, uplifting. Like, it's different ideas for like lace swapping, or if you have an older collector one, it's like, hey, look at mine. Do you remember this from, this year? Twitter's really big with it. So Instagram is good. Instagram has a lot of the shops, but they also do have nostalgia and upcoming releases of things. But I would have to say like the sneakerhead groups are primarily Twitter and Facebook.
You know what they should bring back? Remember the Reebok pump?
Yeah.
I just saw some like retro 90s accounts or something like that post the Reebok pump and it was just I remember that one basketball, I think D Brown or D something like that, pumping his shoe before he did a slam dunk.
Yeah, the Jordans had some pumps too.
No way, Jordan had pumps too.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
Brain
Interesting.
freeze. Yeah, you got yeah. Now you got me thinking of which ones. It tastes
Is
amazing.
Jordan still like the like one of the best ones to get? Like Air Jordans, is that's still a big or a popular thing?
Yeah, I mean, Jordan, they're different silhouettes. So a lot of people love Jordan 1s and the highs and the lows. Jordan 4s are really popular. That's where the most colorways come for are the Jordan 4s. But honestly, like every silhouette, there's the Jordan 3s, 2s, the 5s. I mean, there's a whole bunch of numbers. So the 11s. So, I mean, everyone really does. There's such a variety of them that everyone just it matches everyone's style because there's such diversity in it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I collect as you can see a bunch of sports stuff, but I also I my thing is vintage toys.
Okay.
And it's a similar thing. It's like people show off their collections and you could buy, sell, trade and stuff like that. So I mean, the internet generally sucks, but for stuff like this, it's really cool that you could connect with other people. Um,
Oh,
is
absolutely.
is there a are there like shows that people sell shoes or
Yeah. Oh,
is it
yeah.
like conventions and stuff?
Yep. There's ones. I want to say I'm not going to assume, but it's going to be a lot of the cities. A lot of the cities have them. There's certain brands or there's certain groups. I don't know what to call them. There's like they're called Got Souls, Sneaker Swap, Sneaker Travelers. Um there's so many of large traveling conventions. Then also each city usually has another groups that do them. I know Pittsburgh, like a lot of the vintage shops have actually sponsored conventions and
Ooh,
they have a lot of vintage shops come and a lot of sneaker stores. So there's really a lot of them quite frequently.
interesting. Interesting.
Hmm.
There was a year or two ago, Mike Tomlin bought the entire team black Air Force Ones or something like that. So was
Hmm.
that a big deal? Like how much were how much did each of those shoes cost?
I mean, retail, they're just now they're 130, I want to say is what they are about now.
Wow.
140, I'm gonna say 130 to 160 is what they are retail. Um, don't quote me, I haven't bought Air Force Ones in a long time. But no, they were because like it was about 2 years ago where they were just the hottest items in white and black. And they were, yeah, just Air Force Ones, especially Supreme Air Force Ones. Those were really popular about 2 years ago.
I'm looking interesting here. You got oh you even have sales. Good. See, I'll go to the sales section. That's where I live, the clearance section. So that
Yeah, oh,
so what's the website? It's South Side Hype, but it's a one instead of the I, right?
correct. Yes.
South Side Hype. Um, yeah, there's so many shoes here. This is so cool. Hey, thanks for coming on. This is
Thank you so
awesome.
much.
See, you were nervous and you were just
I
fine.
was.
See, you had
I
nothing to
was so
worry about.
nervous. Thank you
Hey,
so much. I had a blast.
hey, thanks so much. Have a good one.
You too.